Hello. So today I want to talk a little bit about pistol licenses, specifically one that I picked up a few months ago. That is not one that a lot of people I know have. There was three of us that went to go get it, and that license is the Pennsylvania non-resident license. Now I hold a license in my home state of New York. So do all the other people I went with, but I spend a lot of time or used to spend a lot of time in Pennsylvania, and I lived on the border for quite a while. And there were some instances of people from New York with permits crossing over to Pennsylvania being arrested because Pennsylvania does not recognize New York State's pistol permit, just like New York does not recognize anyone else's. So to avoid all that, we all decided to go get our Pennsylvania non-resident concealed carry permits. So in my home state of New York, there's concealed carry only. In Pennsylvania, you don't need a license to buy a pistol. You need a license to carry the pistol, and I'm not a lawyer, so please don't take this as gospel. You need a license to carry it concealed, and in some places to carry it outside of your home. Once again, living in, on the border, I saw a lot of it. A lot of guys would carry pistols on their property. They had a pistol in the house. They didn't have a permit. Eventually, if they wanted to carry concealed, they had to get one. So we went and got one. This is the process that we went through. We showed up at the county we chose with a piece of paper. I filled out job applications that were longer. It was a page and a half. You needed 3 references, or was it 2? Yeah, 3 references. Your New York State pistol permit license, or whatever state you were coming from. I want to say my driver's license. They wanted to look at that, but honestly, I don't recall. And your address, what you do for a living, blah blah blah. There's one very important thing though to know when you're filling out this application. When it says down at the bottom why you want to carry, or for what reason you will be carrying. I talked to the clerk and she said self-defense, because this was her reasoning, and it's sound reasoning. If you put on there hunting or target, and you've got your pistol concealed and you're not at the range or hunting, you could have an issue. So we put down self-defense. It was cheap. It was, I want to say $25, something like that, maybe $50. It was very cheap. They print you out a license. It's different than a New York license. It's different than a Utah license. But it's got a picture of you. It does not have what firearms you own. It's got a picture of you, height, weight, occupation, blah, 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 home address. It's good for 5 years, if I remember correctly. And it took, so they look at your application, they run you through their check system, they take a picture of you, and by the time the picture was printed, I had already run through their system, and I was good to conceal carry anywhere in Pennsylvania. 10 minutes. Fantastic system. And I was very impressed with that. Now, part of it is obviously if you hold a permit in New York State, which is very difficult to have, they're probably not going to have any issues there. One of the people we went with had one hang-up because she was adopted and she'd been married and divorced. She had multiple names, so it took them a little while to run her background check. So we just all went and had breakfast at a local diner, and by the time we finished breakfast, it was ready to go. And right then and there, we were all legally able to carry concealed anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania that's not restricted, which is not many places. So I was very happy with that. It's something I would definitely recommend. Getting as many states, getting licensed to carry in as many states as you can is very important to me. And especially, like I said, New York and Pennsylvania, the longest border in New York is with Pennsylvania. It's very easy to cross into Pennsylvania and not notice. I've done it many times. So instead of running the risk of, I was out here hunting and I accidentally walked across the line and getting arrested for a possible gun charge, instead, I have a Pennsylvania pistol permit. I see no reason not to have them. If it's extremely expensive, I know that taking courses for, say, a Florida or a Utah is a little bit more expensive. I don't have those because, honestly, I have no plans to visit some of those places, and most of the places that I go are constitutional carry anyways. So that's not really an issue, but I feel more comfortable having that Pennsylvania license as well. Like I said, fantastic system, very quick. Everyone was very helpful. And if you want to carry concealed in Pennsylvania, I would absolutely recommend getting the out-of-state license if you're not a resident, or if you're a resident, absolutely get one. It was very easy. It was very straightforward, and everyone was really nice. So I want to thank, Center County, Pennsylvania. You guys were great on that, and it's definitely something I would recommend. And the other thing that made it really easy was the three of us that went down. We all listed each other as references, so it was really easy to check out references if they wanted to. It was a nice little day trip, and then we, went shopping. So, like I said, if you hold a Pennsylvania license as a non-resident, or if you hold licenses in other places you're not a resident of, I'd like to hear about it. What are your expectations? What are the differences? Because seeing the difference in the way that North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and New York all have, it's very interesting how vastly different they are, and how god awful getting a pistol permit in New York is. So thank you, and I look forward to reading your comments.